So here we are, we're going to make a fruit kebab. They're going to be mini ones. We're going to be prepping the fruit and showing you some knife skills, and then we're going to make a chocolate dipping sauce using the microwave and the auto start button. So without further ado, let's get cooking. So we have strawberries and plums, we have grapes, and we have an apple. And what we're going to do is we're going to wash the fruit, because if you're not going to peel it, you need to wash it. That's one of the mantras that we need to use. Now, when we say wash the fruit, we're not going to scrub it, dub it. We're going to just put it underneath the cold tap. We don't need any washing up liquid or anything like that. And we're just going to wash the apple gently. Then we're going to control the flow of the tap so it's just dribbling. And then we're going to wash the strawberries and the grapes in a colander so that they have any germs or any dirt washed off them. I haven't taken the green bit off the strawberry yet, because we're going to talk about how beneficial that can be for your pets and for you. So we're going to turn the tap off. We're just going to give them a gentle shake, and then we're going to put them onto some kitchen roll. Shake those out. So I'm then going to move the kitchen roll and put it back into the colander so I keep all my fruit and vegetables together. So we're going to start off with the strawberries. I've got my location plate, which is just the bottom of some packaging with some ingredients and my knives that I need. And because I'm right-handed, I'm going to put my knives and my location plate on my right hand side next to my chopping board. Underneath my chopping board I've got some Dyson matting so that it doesn't slip when we're cutting, so that we're all ready to go. Have you washed your hands? Have you got your apron on? I hope that you have. If you haven't, pause the video and off you go. So back to the strawberry. We take the strawberry and we're going to use a serrated knife. Okay, we could use the MySafe cutter. These ones don't cut you. These ones work a little bit quicker, but you have to be confident using them. If you've got one, the nylon knife is just as good as a MySafe cutter, and they're a little bit more accessible for us to be purchasing. They're $12.99 from Amazon, and they come in a pack of 4, all different colours. So lots of people could have their own knife if they want to, and they do exactly the same job. We're going to hold it with our finger going down the blade. We're going to hold our strawberry in a C hold. So that means that my finger goes round like a C, holding the strawberry between my thumb and my index finger. And I'm just going to chop off the green bit. Now the green bit is full of vitamin C. There's more vitamin C in the green bit than there is in the actual strawberry. Are you going to eat it? I'm not. So with the strawberry, we are going to cut it in half using the bridge hold. Now this strawberry is quite stable, but if I want it to be really, really safe, I'm going to put it on its cut edge. Here comes my bridge hold. My thumb and my index finger and my other fingers are pushing down into the chopping board. And then I'm going to put my knife underneath the bridge, and I'm just going to cut down so that I get 2 halves, and away we go. That's our strawberry. Bridge hold on the strawberry. So we are going to use the nylon knife to take the green bit off. I've got a C hold, so I'm holding the strawberry between my thumb and my finger quite tightly, and I'm going to cut the calyx off, or the green bit as we call it, and that's going to go into my bin. I'm then going to turn the strawberry over onto its cut edge, and I'm going to put my fingers over the top. So I'm forming a bridge with the strawberry underneath the bridge, like so, and their fingers are going to go down into the worktop, and then my knife goes underneath the bridge, underneath the arch that my fingers have formed, and I just cut through, giving myself 2 halves of a strawberry. grapes grow on a vine and therefore we've got a woody stalk. And what we're going to do today is we're going to just pull our grapes off the stalk and we're going to pop them onto the chopping board. Now, if you are under 5, all grapes should be cut in half. So again, we could use that bridge hold, holding the grape between our thumb and our forefinger, our index finger, pushing through the chopping board and cutting them in half. If you're over 5, you can have them as a whole thing because you will know to chew them, okay? Because grapes are one of the things that small children choke on the most. So choose how you're going to do this, and it's up to you. Okay, here we've got a lovely pink lady apple. I've chosen a really crisp, sweet fruit to go with the chocolate. And what we're going to do is we're going to wedge it. This is my wedger, and this segments the fruit and cores it at the same time. This can be used for apples, and it can be used for potatoes and sweet potatoes for making sweet potato fries. I find that most people want the core in the middle when it comes to the potato, and because that's the bit that they enjoy the most. But give it a go. They work really well. They are a bladed product, so be very, very careful to keep your fingers away from the blades at the back and the bottom. And I'm going to show you how to work it with the apple. First of all, we need to know two different parts of the apple. We've got the stalk where it hung from the tree, and we twisted and we picked it. Then we've got the bottom of the apple, which is where the flower blossom was, where the bee pollinated it and created the fruit. We want it to be stalk side down on our chopping board. Okay, my apple is stalk side down with the flower poking up. I'm going to put my wedger and my corer, and I'm going to put my finger through the core and find the flower and then put the wedger on top of it like so. The reason why we do it this way round is because the stalk side is normally more stable because it's wider than the flower side. So both hands on the wedger, we're going to get onto our tiptoes and give it a little wiggle as we go down. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Ooh, it's not going very fast. And then up onto your tiptoes and push all the way down. Okay, and you've got your core in the middle, which we're going to give a wiggle out and put that in the bin. And then we've got our segments of apple, and we just give those a wiggle too, and they should come out of the apple wedger like so. These apple slices or apple segments are a little bit too big for what we're wanting to do today. So we're just going to chop them in half using that bridge hold again. Place it onto the cut side as we've discussed, skin on one side, and then we're going to put our fingers into that C, move them round into the bridge, and then we're going to put the knife underneath the bridge and we're going to cut in half. Now, I did that very quickly. How do we know where half was? Let's start again. Thumb and finger, and then we could bring our fingers over and we could make us know where the half is and put the knife there ready, and then support that apple, holding it down, and then just cut through. And we've got 2 halves of a segment of apple. So now we've prepared all our fruit, and we're going to then thread them onto cocktail sticks in a minute, but we're going to actually open up the cream. Let's have a look at the packaging. So we've got a film on top and quite a rigid plastic underneath it. With cream, there is a little lip here and a little tag which you can pull. We're going to hold it with our left hand, and we're going to hold the container, and then the tag needs to be at 12 o'clock, so it needs to be on the clock face away from us. We're going to take it between our finger and our thumb, and we're just going to give it a little pull, and it should come away with a little noise. Okay, and that's it. And now we're making the chocolate sauce. We're going to splash some milk, some cream, this is double cream, into the microwave saucepan. We're going to just pour about half of it, and all I did was just tip my hand in, tip the container, and then just stopped. Gave it a little count for about 3, and we probably got about half of that 75 mils. We're not going to be really precise in this because this is for fun. We're not going to get the measuring scales out. We're going to go over to the microwave because we're going to heat up the cream. We're making like a ganache. So if you want to be a little bit fancy, you could say you're making ganache. Now, I've got an auto start button. There's only 3 buttons you need to know in your microwave. Door open, auto start and stop. Now mine works that I press the start button and I can open the door and it will stop automatically. How does yours work? Before you use it, go away and have a look at it. So, my cream's in the microwave. I'm going to press my auto start button for 30 seconds and I want to bring it up to a simmering point. If yours is a 1 minute auto start, that's okay. Count to 30 in your head. 1 and 2 and. If you fancy elephants, put them in instead of the and. It makes the 30 seconds a bit more realistic. So we've got 10 seconds to go and we'll see whether the cream has gone to a simmering point. I wonder how we'll know that. It's quite easy to know because when we bring the milk out, there should be steam coming from the saucepan. We don't want it to go into a boiling point. So 30 seconds for 75 mils of cream at my microwave was absolutely perfect. But if you've got a microwave that's a little less powerful, you might need to wait a little bit longer. It should be no longer than 1 minute 30. Okay, so our double cream is got simmering point. It's really warm and we're going to add our chocolate. This is a 100 gram block, okay, and we're going to whack it. No need then to break it up. And we're going to add about half of it. So the way that I whacked it has broken up about half of the package. Absolutely perfect. Now we're going to open it like a packet of crisps. So we're going to put our fingers to one side. I've made it very difficult by whacking it, but that's okay. So we're going to pull the packaging open. If you don't fancy doing that, take out your chocolate, measure off half of the block, put it into a bag and whack it with a rolling pin. That's a really good way to do that too. Now your chocolate should be coming out as small bits. Now mine's a little bit bigger than it should be, so I'm just going to break it up with my fingers. This is really good exercise. If you've got fingers that aren't very strong, breaking up the chocolate can be a good way to develop a little bit of strength in those fingers. If you can't do that, again, use the rolling pin and give it a good old whack. Now, let's leave that chocolate in there. It's not going to take long at all. We're going to let that melt down a little bit and the cream will heat through to the chocolate. The chocolate melts in your mouth, so it only needs about 30 degrees. And the cream was just at simmering point, so that was probably about 80 degrees. While we're waiting for that to melt a little bit, we're going to thread our fruit. Right, now we're going to thread our fruit to create little dippy sticks. This is a cocktail stick, and a cocktail stick has 2 pointy ends. They're quite sharp. You might have acquainted them when you have picked up food from a buffet table, or in cheese and pineapple, or in a cocktail. So they might have a glacé cherry on the end of them, or an olive. And what we're going to do with them is we're going to pick up a grape, or our apple, or our strawberry, thread it on, and we're going to have 2 pieces of fruit on each cocktail stick, so that we've got a little handle to pick up and dip into our chocolate sauce. Right, so now we're going to put this all together. We've got our chocolate sauce, which was stirred, and the blocks of chocolate have melted into the double cream. And we're going to pour that into a little dish. Now, when you're pouring in, make sure you've got the little lip of the microwavable bowl or the jug or whatever you've used, so that it is over the bowl that you're going to serve in. And when you're making sure that all of your mixture is gone, go all the way around the bowl and bring it down to where you'll go back down to sort of about 6 o'clock, all the way around, and then go a little wiggle across the base. of your microwave saucepan or the container that you've made your sauce in. And keep pushing it down. You will feel it moving. You will feel that there is stuff there. Go all the way round again. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle from the top and just push it down. And if you really wanted to, you could put your finger in and check how much is there and then give it a bit of a lick, but then wash your hands. So we've got our dippy fruit. We've got that. We can set those up on a little plate. And all we now need to do is dip the fruit into the chocolate sauce and bon appetit. And away we go. Enjoy.